Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bridget, a UK RN. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe. Today I'm going to talk about how teachers or people interested in teaching, whether with qualification or not, can get into teaching in the UK. Yes, you heard me right. Whether you have qualification, experience or not, you can get into teaching in UK, and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to tell you how. I dedicated this particular channel for healthcare workers, but I mentioned earlier that I'll be basing my videos on the kind of comments and requests that comes in. So I got a request about how teachers can get to UK to practice, whether there were any opportunities available. So I went deep down to dig, and I got some information. So I decided to share with you, and it's going to be very good. So I decided to share with everyone. Now, there's opportunity for teachers to get to UK using through the same visa that nurses are getting into the UK, because teachers are in demand in UK. From nursery to primary to secondary. The UK has put this job on the shortage occupation list, the same list that the nursing occupation is on, that has granted nurses the skilled worker visa.
Now see what I found after my presentation preparation. In The Guardian, number of graduates in teacher training in England at catastrophic level. And this publication was just this 1st December 2022 at 3:38 GMT. So I'm just going to take a quick read. The number of graduates training to be teachers in England has slumped to catastrophic levels, with the government missing its own recruitment targets by more than 80% in key subjects such as physics. The Department of Education's initial teacher training figures show that just under 29,000 graduates have signed up this year, a 20% fall compared with last year. But the figures are far worse for secondary school recruitment, where they are just 59% of the Department of Education's annual target, well below the 79% reached last year. It means the government has missed its own target in 9 of the past 10 years. Then it goes on to say that the government is putting measures in place, and then they are going to increase the salaries, and then there are scholarship opportunities available or support available for trainees who want to train in some specific subjects. So this is an opportunity for everyone to sign up. This obviously shows demand. Okay, demand is high.
So in this video, I'm going to talk about your eligibility, the requirements, the process involved or the routes involved, the salary, and then how you can get your skilled worker visa. Kindly stay with me to the end of the video so that I don't miss any part of this juicy information. Now let's get into the video. What are the requirements? And the first requirement is that you should have a valid visa that allows you to work legally in the country. So it can be an EU settlement visa, or you get a job and apply for the skilled worker visa, or you may be eligible for any other visa, for example, a dependence visa. Now to the next requirement, you should have a teaching skill to demonstrate to whoever is employing you that you can actually teach. Okay, a teaching skill, not an experience, it's a teaching skill. For example, if you want to teach nursery, maybe you know how to do this. Is it TLM or teaching learning materials? You know how to do it, so you should be able to demonstrate that. I hope you understand. Now the other requirement is that you should pass a criminal check. Okay, you should pass a criminal check, so a police report or a DBS check when you get to UK. Now the UK government says that if you have these other requirements I'm about to mention, it's okay, it's helpful, like I should say it increases your chances, but it's not a must. Okay, it's not a must. So one is that you may or may not have experience or training. So you may be a qualified teacher with experience, or it may be an individual who just have interest in teaching. It doesn't really matter. Then they will also consider someone who has QTS. So the QTS is qualified teacher status. It's like a license to teach in UK. Okay, but you can still practice without QTS in UK. We are going to talk more about them. So how do you work, or how do you teach in UK without a QTS or a qualified teacher status? One is that you may be from an EEA country. So I'll provide a list of all the other countries attached to the EEA that is exempt from getting a QTS before practicing in UK. So if you trained in any of those countries or you are practicing in any of those countries, you can easily apply to the UK licensing or agency, I should say, just to get a license to work by providing details of your qualification. It's that simple. Then the second option is the 4-year rule. So this 4-year rule exempts you from practicing with a QTS. You can practice without a QTS when we go through the 4-year rule. And this 4-year rule is going to be your employer who offers it to you. Okay, your employer offers it to you, so your employer can say, okay, because you are overseas, but we lack teachers and we really need teachers, we will offer you this 4-year rule where you will come into the UK, work for 4 years or teach for 4 years, and it's just for 4 years. But the advantage is during this 4 years, you have the chance to get your QTS, and it's even easier. You only apply for the assessment only QTS. And then with people using the 4-year rule, you can also teach in maintained schools. So ideally, even if you don't have, like I mentioned earlier, there are some teachers in UK practicing currently who don't have a QTS. But there are some schools that you can't teach without the QTS, and those are the maintained schools. But if you come through the 4-year rule, you can also teach the maintained schools even without your QTS and work towards your QTS. And then the other thing is you have to meet an eligibility criteria for you to qualify for the 4-year rule. Okay, so first of all, you have to be trained in your country. Like you should have a training, or you should be a qualified teacher in your country, and then the training you had should be recognized by whichever regulatory body is in your country that regulates teaching. For example, the licensing body in your country that regulates teaching should recognize that training you had. That is the eligibility criteria for the 4-year rule. With those who are eligible with the 4-year rule, you have your experience, you have your qualification is recognized. Now what you can do is just head over to the gov.uk website. There are even job ads on the gov.uk website. You look for jobs available, discuss with your employer to give you the 4-year rule, or your employer probably just offers you the 4-year rule. It might even be stated in your job advert. You apply for it, you get the job, and then you arrive in UK and work towards your QTS. This route is actually possible because not all schools require you to have QTS before you can teach. You can teach in free schools, private schools, and some other schools, academic schools, without a QTS. So you can just head over, look for academic schools, look for private schools that are advertising for jobs vacancies or teaching vacancies, and then apply for them, and you may qualify for the 4-year rule. They will grant you the 4-year rule to come and teach. And even with that, as I mentioned, you can even teach in the maintained schools, so you can still find a job in the maintained schools. Okay, that's with the 4-year rule. Now the good news about this 4-year rule is that when you come in, you have 4 years ideally to practice and go back to your home country. But as I mentioned, you can work towards your QTS by applying for an assessment only QTS. Then there's one good news as well. When you take a statutory leave during the 4-year period, that statutory leave must be counted and given back to you to practice. I don't know if you get it. So if you go for leave for 30 days, that 30-day leave doesn't count as part of your 4 years. So they will give it back to you to practice. So it's like you have more than 4 years, kind of. Then the other option is, instead of coming into UK, or instead of you being home and applying for jobs to come to UK immediately, whilst overseas, you can also apply for an assessment only QTS. That is if you have qualification and experience. Okay, if you have qualification and experience, you are a trained teacher and you are working as a teacher currently, you can apply for assessment only QTS. I'll leave a link to the gov.uk website where you can go and see these various options and then see which one applies to you and apply for whichever one is okay for you. So with this particular one, there's a link that you can actually head to, you can click on, and then it will take you to how to apply for an assessment only QTS. And when you click on it, it will give you several locations, and then you will find international and direct. So if you are overseas, you click on the international and it will give you the list of organizations or the list of schools that offer the assessment only QTS to internationals, and then you can contact any of them and then find out. But with this, you still have to meet a certain eligibility. Who can apply for the assessment only QTS? The first eligibility is that you should have taught for at least 2 years, and then you should also have a first degree from a UK or a non-UK university, and then you should also have a senior high school grade 4 equivalent in English and Maths. And for those who want to teach children between 3 to 11 years, you should have that same equivalent in sciences, that is biology, chemistry, and physics. Now, the other option to get into teaching in UK, it's by applying to a school directly. For example, for those who have no qualification, but this is not the only available route for those without qualification. There's another route, but with this, if you have no qualification or you even have qualification, you want to upgrade or anything, you can just apply to a school, come and study, but you have to be in UK to study and qualify for your QTS. And with this, immediately you complete school, you get your QTS. There's this other option that is available for all, whether qualified or not qualified, experienced, not experienced, and it is the iQTS, which was introduced in 2022, just recently around March. So this iQTS means International Qualified Teaching Status. Okay, so this was introduced for overseas teachers overseas individuals, I should say, because whether you are qualified or not, if I say teachers, it's like I'm talking about the qualified ones. It was introduced for overseas individuals, whether UK citizen or not. Let's say UK citizen currently outside UK working or whatever, and then just everyone outside UK who wants to come to UK and work. So you can see that at this point, I have the feeling UK really need teachers, because if they are putting all these things in place to get teachers into the country to work, then they really need teachers. They are in demand. So let's move on. Now, if you are still watching this video and you've not liked it, please do give me a thumbs up and share with your colleagues when you are done watching. So what is this iQTS about? So this iQTS is like, it's kind of a training, but it's a mentorship program, more of. So you'll be assigned a mentor. But the good thing about it is you are not going to be in UK. You can actually apply and do it wherever you are in your home country, and then relocate when you get your iQTS status and move to UK and go an induction period and get your QTS status. So this particular iQTS opportunity is for all. It's for all, whether qualified teacher, whether you are new to the profession, you just want to start afresh. It's available to everybody to apply. Okay, just that maybe the training needs will be different depending on your qualification and experience. With the iQTS, the first enrollment was done around September 2022. So the next available enrollment will be early 2023. So if you really want to enroll in this, just keep your eyes open. Okay, immediately they open admissions, you rush and apply. Now with all these things I'm talking about, there's help available. So in case you go to the website, you read everything and you don't understand it, you can contact. There are contacts available that you can call. There's an email address you can send an email to, and you can also sign up. You can sign up and leave your contact and your details, and then someone is going to call you. They are going to assign you a mentor who is going to call you and speak with you, and the person will make sure they call you at your own at a time zone that is very convenient for you. So when you are signing up, you are definitely going to provide your nationality and the country you are living in, so the person calling you knows the time at your end when they are calling, so they won't call at odd hours. So you can actually take that option as well. So at this point, if you are so confused and you don't know exactly which one you want, you can just contact, or you can just email. I'll leave the contacts, the email address, and the link as well to the website in the description box. Kindly go to the website, find someone to chat with, tell them your situation, your qualification and experiences, and then they are going to help you. So now, how do you get your skilled worker visa? So with your skilled worker visa, you have to apply through UKVI, but you have to meet a certain eligibility to be able to apply for your skilled worker visa. So first of all, you have to have an offer. So you have to apply for jobs. So whether you do your assessment Only QTS from home, or you are applying directly for jobs before you move to UK, you need to have an offer. So get your applications going, and then once you get your job offer, your employer is going to issue you a certificate of sponsorship. So you're going to use that sponsorship to apply for your visa and that of your dependents as well. Yes, you move with your dependents. If you want, you can bring your dependents. That's your child and your spouse, not your whole family, not your entire extended family. And then the last thing is that if you are from a non-English speaking country, or if you are from a country that English is not your major language, you will need proof of English for your visa application. Visa application, because the documents I went through, none of them mentioned English requirements for the QTS registration, to be honest. So I don't know, it can be that they require it, but I didn't meet it. So when you contact these helplines, then they are going to give you all the requirements, all that you need. Now UKVI needs proof of English language for them to process your visa, and that could be in the case of IELTS examination, but it should be UKVI. If you are below the degree level, that is if you don't have a degree in degree certificates from school, I should say. But if you have a degree, you can also apply for the UK NARIC certificate or the ECCTIS certificate and use it for your visa application. It is accepted. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, kindly subscribe. Now to the most interesting part of the whole thing, the salary. How much will you be paid? Salary of teachers vary from area to area. So which part of England you work determines the amount of money you are going to receive as your salary. I'll give you an image of how much a qualified teacher takes and in the various areas, and that of an unqualified teacher, that is those without a QTS, how much they also take.
Good news, guys, good news. From February 1st, 2023, if you have qualification from any of the countries listed here, you can directly apply to the Teaching Regulation Agency to get your QTS. This is perfect. This is the best news ever.
So that's all for now. That's all for today. Kindly head to the website, check your eligibility, and start your applications giddy before it gets competitive. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for coming back. Bye.